Hello, everyone. My name is Devesh Kumar, and I'm a Senior Engineering Manager for IBX Smart View here at Equinix. And in this video, we are going to talk about IBX Smart View Asset API. Again, we will start the video from Equinix Developer Portal, where we will explore the IBX Smart View API catalog, talk about the endpoint capabilities offered by IBX Smart View Asset API, and then we will go into a deep dive demo of the Asset API using Postman tool. Let's kick it off then. So here you see, here it is our Equinix Developer Portal, which is our core portal for all our customer-focused APIs across our product lines. And in order to access IBX Smart View API, you navigate to IBX Smart View API Catalog. In IBX Smart View API Catalog, in order to access Assets API, you can click on Assets V1 link here. These are the multiple endpoints offered by IBX Smart View Asset API. We'll talk about each of them in a second. However, before we go there, let's talk about some general themes here. You can download the catalog for this API using the download catalog link. The various methods that are supported are shown here, and these are the endpoint URLs. Let's go into each of these endpoint URLs in detail. Using Asset V1 List API, you can get a list of all the assets that you as a customer has visibility to at a given IBX location. So in order to access this API, you will provide an OAuth bearer token. You will provide your account number, an IBX and asset classification option you can provide, which is basically an electrical or mechanical assets. Optionally, you can provide your cage unique space ID. Using this particular endpoint, you can get a list of all the assets that you as a customer has visibility to for this IBX location. Using Asset V1 Details API, you can get visibility into the specific asset, like i.e. all the attributes of that asset that are exposed to you. So in this particular API, I'm going to provide my account number, my IBX location for whose asset details I want, a classification, which is electrical or mechanical, and the specific asset ID. And in return, I will get all the attributes of this particular asset that I have visibility to. And again, we'll just see that in a bit. If you want more than one asset details, you can use the post flavor of this API. Using the Get Asset V1 Tagpoints Affected Assets API, you can get all your co-location assets that are impacted or that are being serviced by a given Equinix IBX asset. So, for example, here, if I provide my account number, my IBX, a specific Equinix asset ID, along with its classification, we will get in return the cage, the cabinet, and the circuit hierarchy that is being serviced by that particular asset. Using the Asset V1 Search, it's a simple search. It offers a wildcard search capabilities across the assets. Using the Asset V1 Tagpoint Current, if you provide input as account number, IBX, and a specific tag ID, a tag ID is nothing but an attribute of an asset, you can get the current value of that and the recording time. Finally, using the Asset V1 Tagpoint Trending endpoint, you can get a snapshot of data for that particular tag. So here, if I provide an IBX and a tag attribute along with the other parameters that I've seen before, with an recording interval and a from date and a to date range, I will get the data for this particular tag attribute as it has been recorded in our system at this given interval. We will see the demo of each of these endpoints as we go into a deep dive demo using the Postman tool. Let's dive right in. So the first API that we spoke about was to get a list of all the assets that I as a customer has visibility to. So using IBX Smart View here, I'm going to provide my account number, the IBX is CH1, and the asset classification directly is electrical. And if I invoke this, you can see that I get a list of all the electrical assets that I have visibility to. So for example, this one here is talking about CH1 ASTS and some key attributes of the asset. For example, alarm status, resiliency status, when was the alarm last triggered and when it was last cleared here. And similarly, other electrical assets are also returned as part of the response of this API. If you pick one of these assets and you want more details of the asset, which means the attributes of the assets, you can use the Asset Details API. So here, if you see, I am passing account number, IBX, the specific asset ID, the CH1 Gen 1, its classification electrical. If I invoke this particular API, you can see that for CH1 Gen 1 asset, which is of type generator, there are the various attributes of this asset. So for example, fuel hour is one attribute. This is the current value. This is the time when we read this value. And what is the unit of measure for this value? It's a fuel hours, so it is in hours, and the current alarm status. Similarly, there are all the attributes of this particular generator that I have access to. It'll be returned in the response. So here it's the attribute of running emergency services, yes or no. Here is the attribute of voltage, which is a 0, and volts is the unit of measure. Again, the reading time, and then the similar pattern will repeat for all the attributes of this particular asset. You change the asset here, which you got from your asset list API, and you can get attributes of that particular asset. The third API that we saw was to get affected asset. So basically, get affected asset, basically if you provide an asset in ID as an input, it will give you all your cages, cabinets, and power circuit that are being serviced by the asset. So here I'm providing my account number, my IBX, the asset that the Equinix asset, which I initially obtained from the get asset list API, and if in the classification of electrical, and if I invoke that, I will, in response, I will get my cage, my cabinet, and my power circuit information that are being serviced by this asset. So very good way to get your assets that are impacted by the particular Equinix asset should you receive any alarm or alert on that particular asset. The next API that we're going to talk about is the get Tagpoint Current. So this one is about, this API basically it accepts the account number, the IBX, and a particular tag ID, which is nothing but the attribute of a specific asset, as an input, and gives you the current value of that asset attribute in response. So here for this Gen1 fuel hours, I'm getting the value is 71.5. The display name on the UI is fuel hours. The unit of measure is hours, and this is the time when we last read, or when this current reading was read. This is good for getting the current snapshot value of that particular attribute. If you have more attributes, you can use the post flavor of this API, as we saw on the Equinix developer portal. Finally, the last API in this thing is the get Tagpoint Trending. So here, if you pass your account number, your IBX, the tag point that you're interested in, for example, again, the fuel hours, which you just saw earlier, the interval at which you want the recording, and the date range for which you want the recording is from date and due date, you will get, for this particular tag ID or attribute, the various values and their recording time at a 1 hour granularity. You can see we are returning the tag ID here, the unit of measure for this tag ID, the interval at which we are returning the recording, which is same as what you provided here, along with their IBX and account number, and then the various readings. So very good for getting a snapshot of data for that attribute for your analysis purposes. So that is all in the Asset API. Thank you so much for watching this audio video. Until next time, goodbye.